Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Now let us move on to topic 4, and here now we'll look at another or the third important colonial cities, that is Kolkata, or present day is Kolkata, but it was called Calcutta. Okay. Now, when a city was planned during the colonial rule by the colonial government, it was not just planned, okay? It was inspired by the vision of the ruler, the one who is building it, the one who has hired people to build it. And it was built in a manner that the builder knew what a city should look like. So, simply saying that when a city or town was planned during the colonial rule, they were not just planned. The colonial government had proper vision, proper aim, and proper idea as to how the city should look like. Okay? And they were very clear as to how it should be developed and for what purpose that town will be used for what purpose it was developed. So all these were already figured out before the town was built and developed. Okay. Now British government and the East India Company took themselves the task to build the town of Calcutta from their early years. Okay, from their early years in Bengal, they were very keen and they knew they had to build the city of Calcutta. Their main reason was for defense. Okay, they were in conflict with the native rulers in Bengal and they knew they had to build the city of Calcutta in such a manner that they could defend themselves, they could protect themselves. Okay. The city of Calcutta had grown from 3 villages, Sultanati, Calcutta and Govindpur. These 3 villages were brought together to form the city of colonial Calcutta. Okay. After the defeat of Sirajuddaula, the native ruler in Bengal, in the Battle of Plassey, the East India Company decided to build a new fort, the Fort William. So after the British government, wherever they went, after they won victory over the native ruler in a battle, they would first build a fort, a wall, for securing their settlement, for protecting themselves. And around the fort of William, a vast open space was left open. Okay, a vast space was left open, and this space was called Maidan. It was an open Maidan. Now, why it was kept open was because in times of attack from the enemy and invasion, they had an open ground, a straight line to fire against the advancing army. Okay, they had enough space to have a proper vantage point and in their fight against the enemy. Okay. Now, buildings were built on the periphery of the Maidan, residential buildings, places or buildings to live. They were built on the periphery outside of the Maidan. In 1798, Lord Wellesley, who was the Governor General of India, he began town planning of Kolkata or Calcutta. Okay, he built a huge palace and a government house for himself. He was very worried about the sanitary condition of the city, the unhygienic condition, the diseases, the dirt, the condition of the people. Okay, so he hoped that if open spaces were created in the city, then the city would become healthier. If the city was opened up, okay, if there were more open spaces in the city, that might make the city healthier. And he created several committees for the purpose of developing the city. Okay, and the committees, what they did, they cleared many bazaars, the market areas, the ghats, the burial grounds, and the tanneries where leather was made. Okay, so public health in Calcutta became important part of town planning. Okay. After Wellesley, the work of planning the town or city of Calcutta was taken by the Lottery Committee, which was founded by the government. In support of the government, they now work towards the development of the town or the city of Calcutta. Okay, so this committee, they built roads, they cleared the river banks from any kind of encroachments, they removed huts and displaced the laborers to the outskirts of the city, to the outside of the city. Okay, to make the city healthier, to make the city clean. Okay, in the years 1817 and 1896, there was a plague, a disease. Okay, the government held that there was a direct relationship between living conditions and the spread of diseases. So when the government saw that the people were falling sick, and there were these diseases which were spreading in the years 1817 and 1896, the government thought that it was because of the living condition of the people, the unhygienic condition, because of which such diseases were spreading. Okay, so what the government did was, the government pushed the poor workers, the hawkers, the beggars, the artisans, the unemployed people into the distant parts of the city, outside of the city. Okay, so that the city becomes healthier, becomes free of the poor, dirty people. Okay, they demolished more huts and developed the portions of the British town, and they cleaned and developed the White Town area. Okay, so what came to be identified in the development of the city of Calcutta was that Black Town was considered unhealthy and White Town was considered healthy. Okay, so the areas where the Indians lived, that was considered unhealthy, and the areas where the European settlement was established, those parts were considered healthy. Now, of course, such policies and such ideas were protested by the Indians. Okay, the Indians did not keep quiet, and that led to the national movement for freedom. National movement for freedom, Indian national movement. Okay, that also became one of the demands of the, or one of the causes for the fight of the Indians for freedom, of freedom from the clutches of the British rule. Okay, so Calcutta, we know it is present day Kolkata. And Calcutta was once, during the colonial period, capital of British India. Okay, it was an important center for business and industry. But even today, Calcutta is very important in terms of industry, in terms of commerce. And it continues to face, just like during the colonial period, several developmental challenges. Okay, now we have Kolkata Metropolitan Development Area, and this has been, along with the government, preparing plans for the proper development and growth of the city of Calcutta. Alright. Now, as we come to the end of this section, we have again some questions. Okay, so let us look at that. So there's one question here, and the question asks, in which state of India is Writers Building situated? This is in the state of West Bengal. Okay.